down in New Brunswick at the music seminar of New Jersey in New Brunswick at a big hotel. And I was offering a question up to him from the audience, and he recognized me and he said, I want to introduce this man, Walt Gollender, legendary talent scout, who, when I was in high school, was the person you brought your demo records to. And he did give us hope and inspiration. So when Max Weinberg salutes you and says that I was the person who did his first demo recordings, of course, Max Weinberg tried to stay on top of things by going from me to Bruce Springsteen, but these things happen. You can't always stay with the great Gollender. And he joined the Springsteen band following the Vinnie Lopez departure. You know, Vinnie Lopez had been the first drummer for Springsteen, and Max followed the steel mill period as the drummer. And also he was the head of the Max Weinberg 7 on the Conan O'Brien show, and that's a topic in itself. So those highlights and a few others I'm not going to bore you with are the highlights of my career, and I should end that little question by saying teaming, not introducing, teaming, T-E-A-M-I-N-G, Irwin Levine and L. Russell Brown in 1968 in my home, when I was having band and singer auditions every Sunday for 2 years, from 68 to 70, was an opportunity for me to get credited with teaming two writers who went on to write all of the hits of Tony Orlando and Dawn, such as Candida, Knock 3 Times, Sweet Gypsy Rose, Who's in the Strawberry Patch with Sally, Steppin' Out, Gonna Boogie Tonight, I Play and Sing, Candida, and of course the one song in 1973 which did not make it, called I'm Coming Home, I've Done My Time, and I've got to know what is and isn't mine. If you receive my letter, that's right, song of the decade, Tie Yellow Ribbon Around the Old Oak Tree, which became song of the decade in 1974. And, of course, Larry Brown, Ray Bloodworth, who you've seen on the recent show here at Josephine's studio, and Bob Crew, who wrote It Took a Long Time from the movie Precious. Having had an influence early on with certain people makes me feel very happy. So, how's that for a long answer to a very, very juicy question?
Mr. Gollender, were you aware you were inspiring them, or were you just vicariously in your pursuit on your own road to show business?
I was certainly not making money off of them, and I was perspiring, because I've spent, as many people know by looking at my car and my clothes, money not on material goods, but on paying my way and paying for opportunities to have fun. This has been a fun business. I'll be 98 years old over the next couple of months, and I've hit the bottle quite a bit. And I say to you this, I don't drink as much as I used to, but the drunker, yes, the drunker I sit here, the longer I get. Is that right? The drunker, that's good enough for now. I'm losing control of my dog here. Yes,
one more comment.
I'm not finished with that routine yet. Don't cut me off. How often do I get on television here? I knew that I was inspiring them because of the fact that I was living vicariously through my artists, because I wanted to be a singer, and the best that I could do was singing in Hebrew school in Nutley, New Jersey during my bar mitzvah. This is how we do it in Israel. We can cut that out, of course. So I never made it in show business. But not to worry. I'm making it in monkey business. Next question. Bring on the questions. I have no answers.
Mr. Gollender, I don't know.
Mrs. Gollender to you.
Mr. Gollender,
see, when I get silly, there's no stopping me.
I don't have a question, but I do have...
When there's a little boy over there.
No, and he joins me. He's holding my hand, wishing you all of the people that you have inspired.
Wait a second, are you hinting that we're coming to the end of the tape-a-la?
Never to the end of there will never be an
Never
end
be an end to this
tape.
nonsense
Never,
here.
never, never.
No, never.
But
The dog is making tinkle in my face here.
all the people that you have inspired, and
Or more
all
or
of
less.
us who you have
Hey,
covered in
Josephine.
show business are boosting you volleyball style over the net into the arena onto tremendous success for your own career in show business.
Let me ask you a question. You can turn off that camera, but you keep it on. Suppose you had to go through life with something like this.
Are we cutting? Are you going to finish?
I'm finished.
No, you're
I was
not.
finished a long time ago. All I've
Yeah.
got left is my coat, and I'm going to go home.
Okay. However, we have 2 clips of the Alberts, which were never introed.
Is this mine size a 34 medium?
How about introing?
How about letting me go home already? I've been here in the studio. Yes, in all seriousness, as I take off my doggy coat, we have 2 final clips as we pay our last homage to
You want me to
Al Alberts.
pick up the dog?
No, we don't need the dog. I don't need the dog. Here. Such a dog. You can tinkle. It's all right. I've been tinkled on by many people in show business. Take it away. Yes, I was the first person in the world, being a Four Aces archiver, to suggest to MCA, which is the parent company for Decca Records, that the Four Aces should have their own CD on the market. And we put this out in 1993. When I say we, MCA, myself, out in Universal City, California, put out the best of the Four Aces. 18 of their best hits, the biggest hits, gold and semi-gold. And my name is here in the booklet, as you can see. Special thanks to me, Al Alberts, and Stella Alberts for putting this idea together. The story was basically mine, taken from stories that I've written. The pictures are from my archives, Mamie Van Doren. And if you want to see this booklet up close, come on down to Yesterday's Treasures, where you'll see perhaps Joe Franklin, Josephine. And this CD was so popular that I got major reviews on it from people like Dick Clark, because the Aces had been on the Dick Clark show 3 or 4 times in the late 50s when Dick Clark took over Bandstand from Bob Horn. And here is a great shot of the Four Aces. And here you have the Four Aces, who had been on the Dick Clark show twice in 1957 and once in 1958. They are embodied in this booklet, which is called the Bandstand Booklet. Here's Pat Boone, Dick Clark, Patty Page, the Four Aces. And by the way, you've seen the Four Aces and Patty Page on that Perry Como show a little while back on this series of Four Aces clippage. So I am well established with the right people, and when Dick Clark calls me to talk about recordings that I've sent him, it's quite a thrilling situation. How many people do you know out there? How many people do you know have had Dick Clark call person to person from Burbank, California? And I'm not kidding, because I don't take false credit. I have the tape recordings of the phone conversation of Mr. Clark and myself in 1990. If I say it, I've done it. And if I haven't said it, I don't take false credit like so many people do, especially if you know any bogeys running around singing in oldie shows. They take credit for what was never theirs. I take credit slightly for what is mine. Don't tell me what will be. Tell me what is. Don't tell me what will be. Tell me what is. The philosophy of the late Irwin Levine, who I teamed with Larry Brown back in 1969. And as you know, they went on to write all of the hits of Tony Orlando, from Candida through Tie a Yellow Ribbon, and I established that writing team, which went on to make Tony Orlando a superstar for the second time in his career. So I've done some things and not many people appreciate it, but now is the time that I'm blowing my own horn. I rest my case, Josephine. I rest my case.